Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's reading will be for the Scorpio Sun, Moon, Ascendant signs for the week beginning the 14th of August. I want to apologise briefly if I sound a bit congested, I'm just getting over a cold. So I'll start by pulling Scorpio's energies for this week. This will be an intuitive reading and quite general. The Four of Wands in reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse, the Two of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the World in reverse, and the Ten of Wands. I feel like for some of you here, straight away, there's going to be an aspect of a learning lesson. The Two of Swords is always a card of being closed off. It can mean being narrow-minded, but it can mean closing yourself off after a period of discomfort. Here we have the Four of Wands, which means it can mean not necessarily failure, but it means you're not at the end of something yet. It can mean that something's still building, but it's taking the wrong route a bit. The Seven of Wands here in reverse. Now that can indicate laying down your weapons. It can mean feeling a bit overcome, but also it's a bit putting aside arguments and differences. I feel like this week some of you have had to really, or in the past week rather, you've had to really defend your arguments, your ideas, or even your lifestyle against other people. And I do feel like it's giving you an aspect this week, Scorpio, that you want to step away, that you're closing yourself off a bit and you're really thinking things through. Now this could be thinking through a relationship with friends or co-workers. We have here the Nine of Pentacles, which is hard work and also reaping enormous rewards. It's having your investments in the right place and it's kind of good fortune. I do feel like for some of you this relates to your work, but for others of you I feel like there's going to be a good message or something in general that's going to come through for you this week, perhaps a bit later in the week, that's going to really surprise you and you're going to feel like, wow, I'm really lucky for that. It's kind of almost like it's just like a really good lucky thing, kind of like one of those Chinese like New Year red bags, like red envelopes they're called. It really feels like you're getting something this week. You have the World in reverse, which I'm going to aspect. So there we have the Three of Cups in reverse. Now that can mean jealousy, it can also mean a lack of socialisation and a problem in the friendship group. And I do feel like this can relate to these other problems. I do feel like you've really sort of recently had or are going to have an argument with someone this week. Scorpio. I feel like it's also an aspect of you trying to get over it. I do feel like this is impacting you because the world can mean our world as well. It can mean the things that are truly important to us, and in reverse it means that there's been a big change, a great disruption. For some of you it does feel like a falling out. For others of you here it feels like you're now looking for other opportunities. It can also mean your work here, because I do feel like you're putting a lot of energy into work, and at the moment water sign seems to be doing that. There's a lot of energy into putting things into their creative projects, finding dreams, that sort of energy, and I really feel like you're looking for the same thing, Scorpio. You have the Ten of Wands, which is never giving up. If you notice the fireworks, there's almost a recognition, there's a satisfaction in this panda's face that they're carrying a burden, but they're not giving up. They're just taking a rest for a moment and then they're going to continue. It's also like public recognition to a degree, that you are being recognised for your efforts, but I do feel like you've really had to put your foot down with people, or you will be putting your foot down with people. And with this Four of Wands, the outcome you were hoping for might be something different. It might have changed. I'm going to aspect it just to ask what's going on. Okay, so we have the Ten of Cups, which is everything you want, it's happy families, and the Ace of Cups in reverse, which can mean an emotional break or detachment here. I do feel like here for some of you it is romantic, or it can just simply mean among your family or your close friends, anyone you would consider your family or a very close person in your life. I do feel like there's been an aspect of disruption and there's an aspect of not getting on, especially with the Seven of Wands here. I'm sensing a big argument. However, this is upright, so I do feel like you have a happy support system. I do feel like you still have a family and friends, and I feel like that's something you need to recognise. But there's also an aspect here that not everyone that you know you're going to get on with, and the Two of Swords can also indicate you need to be careful not to close yourself off for too long, and don't become buried in your work. Don't bury yourself in work in order to just get away from things. It can be a healthy escape mechanism, but it can also lead to you feeling very isolated or stressed. The Fool there Now that's an indicator, that's kind of like the main character. That's you, Scorpio. That's you moving forward. That's carefree. That's kind of starting with a blank slate. Yeah, the cards here are telling you to get over it because you're making yourself stressed. The Ten of Swords in reverse, that's kind of getting over rock bottom. That's getting over the strain. That's getting over the betrayal and the ruin. And here it's like asking you to step forward with a new spring in your step. Try and put things behind you. Go as a blank slate. A happy-go-lucky type of energy here, Scorpio. I'm really feeling like the people around you are perhaps not as hurt as you are about this, and that might be something you need to vocalise rather than close off about. Yeah, the Two of Wands is about planning, and the Emperor is about taking charge and structure and organisation and reliability. I really feel like for you, Scorpio, it's now is the time to make your plans. Now is the time to set up your next adventure. Now is the time to decide what you want and start making the steps towards it. When we have the Emperor, that's about taking charge, that's about responsibility, that's about following the rules and ensuring you are doing things that need to be done. I feel like for a lot of you, you are very responsible. I'm feeling that, especially because you do have a number of stability cards. But I feel like it's also asking you to rise above it. If you're actually very hurt by these people or however this resonates in your life, then I feel like you need to take charge of that and speak to them. I also feel like you perhaps need to be careful with your words as well. The High Priestess in reverse can mean you've told people too many things about you, and that could be what it is. Having to fight about something, feeling like you're being almost betrayed or giving up. There's a learning lesson there. For some of you, I am feeling like either you didn't listen to your intuition or you've gone ahead and told people too many things, and now you're feeling, it's kind of like you've been snubbed for it and you've learned your lesson. There's Two of Pentacles in reverse, that can indicate a lack of balance. And again, it could be that you've given and given and given and they've taken and taken and taken and then it's come back to bite you. I feel like, Scorpio, there's an aspect of you need to make sure that wherever this resonates in your life, if this is something at work, because it is a Pentacle card, that you need to address it. And I do feel like if you take the time out to think about it, but without closing yourself off, it will really benefit you. If you haven't been listening to your intuition on someone or something, then the High Priestess in reverse reminds us that that's important. And it's also an important reminder that I know as water signs, it's very easy to tell people things. It's very easy for people to open up to you and spill things to you. And I feel like sometimes that can take its toll. I feel like the High Priestess is a reminder of good communication as well. It's listen to your gut. If you don't feel like you should tell someone something, don't tell them. Don't have that feeling of, well, I'll just tell them now, just to kind of make yourself look good or to make yourself feel good. It's kind of like if you're working on a project in the early stages and you tell someone your ideas and they make fun of you, or they go ahead and they rush the ideas themselves and they take from you. I'm feeling kind of like it could be something like that. With the King of Cups here, Scorpio, again, it can support the same card. I do feel like there's a lot of emotional reward and satisfaction with you at the moment, and I do feel like you're benefiting a lot, but I feel like there's a few people around you this week that are going to cause a bit of disruption and a bit of trouble, and this could simply be that they've taken too much from you and not given enough back, or it could simply be that they're feeling a bit unsettled here. We have the Three of Cups, of course, which can indicate jealousy in a friendship group. It could be that someone has seen your success and seen everything you've built and seen your confidence, and they're trying to shatter it a little bit. So it's always worth being mindful of that. So if this reading was good for you, then please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.